r/AskReddit by Redmond Dts. Gym goers of Reddit. What ridiculous, rude, or dangerous behavior have you witnessed when working out? Not racking your weights after you use them. Just F you, man. I saw a post here that had a gym with a sign that read, "If the weights are too heavy for you to get back onto the rack, let one of the girls at the front desk know and they'll be happy to help." Not that ridiculous, but I hate people who smoke right before coming in, or wear perfume cologne to the gym. When I'm out of breath drained from a hard workout, those smells are absolutely disgusting and make me want to vomit. Cologne tells me you either smell really bad or are there to impress someone, which doesn't make sense to me if you wanna improve. When people don't clean off the equipment they were previously on. Nobody wants to sit on your crotch sweat. Mine is related to this. I finished up and was gonna pass the equipment on to some guy walking up. Went to wipe it and he said something along the lines of, "What the F are you doing? Did Spartans wipe off their equipment? What the F, dude? Really lol." Taking like 3 different sets of barbells and or dumbbells to a workout bench. Doing a set with one of them. Then relaxing for a few minutes, surfing on the phone. Do a rep with a different one. Relax for a few minutes again. Start to get ready to do another set but then decide against it. Get up and leave, leaving the dumbbells or barbells scattered on the floor by the bench. I once saw a guy at my university gym take 5 sets of dumbbells and a bench and he only did 1 set in half an hour. The rest of the time he was just sitting there watching cartoons on his effing iPad. The 1 rep, rest, phone thing I've never understood. Yet I often see big dudes who clearly work out often doing this, so they must be doing something right. Guys that cheat themselves on exercises so they can boast bigger numbers. Like the effing quarter squats that almost everyone does. Bending down 4 inches is not a squat. The 60-year guy who constantly wore a tank top and boxers to work out. No shorts or pants. Gross. Usually in January you see people who have never been who wear those rubber plastic suits. I think they may be called sauna suits, thinking it will help them lose weight faster. When people use a machine and get so sweaty and don't wipe it down when they're done. Like I've seen some sopping wet treadmills and stuff. It's gross. I really hate seeing people guide bad workouts and give bad advice. I see a guy and his workout buddies frequently at my gym. They don't do any cardio, just hit the weights, so they're obviously there for strength and size in some combo, but the guy leading them is tiny and weak. They follow him anyway and he's always encouraging them with more weight and worse form. The other day they were doing standing curls and the amount of swinging and half reps was making the whole thing pointless, but the leader said, "You're making that look easy, bro. Get some heavier weights." Same with bench presses. Half a rep at best. More weight. Half squats done. Add more weight and make it quarter squat instead. What makes it worse is when you see someone get a member of staff to spot them. They struggle to do a poor arm lift with too much weight and then get all sorts of backslapping from the staff member. Great lift, bro. Made it look easy. If I was the staff member I'd just think, I'm not paid enough for this, and lie to them rather than argue about it. A lot of people just don't know gym etiquette, so hopefully people read this thread and absorb it. Here are some things that bug the hell out of me. Quarter repping. Check your ego at the door and lift with full range and good form. Curls in the squat rack. Especially if no other racks are open. There are plenty of other places to curl with a straight bar. Don't do your shrugs, rows, latitude raises, whatever right in front of the dumbbell rack. Other people are trying to gather and put away their weights. Just take, like, 2 steps back. Don't collect 18,679,479 dumbbells all around your station all at once. Use the ones you need for that set, then rack them and grab your next pair if you're going up and down in weight. If everyone did this it would be chaos, so be considerate. If you want to use a machine I'm using, please wait until I'm done with my current set to ask me. Odds are I'd be happy to let you jump in between sets, but I don't like being tapped on the shoulder when I'm trying to focus on my form. Please, 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 don't dry your balls off with the blow dryer in the locker room. There are 2 older guys in my gym that do this with one leg up on the counter, just letting their withered crank get blasted with hot air. Basically a TLDR for the entire thread. Couples making out on yoga pads. Now that's just uncalled for. Damn. I've been using the gym all wrong. Some people at my gym bring their kids with them while they work out. The kids hog the exercise balls and the stretching mats, mess around on the treadmills and weight racks, yell and run around, etc. There's one couple in particular that sets up a pack and play for their screaming baby. Management doesn't care. There was this guy at my old gym who would secure a rack by putting the bar on the highest peg. You would need a still or something to reach it if you were under 5'8", and load it up with about 3 or 4 45s on each side, so there was no way to get it down. This butthole would do something else for an uncertain amount of time before coming back to it. At the same gym, absolute scum of humanity would secure machines by putting the pegs on max weight and bend them to be irremovable unless you were strong enough to unbend them. Pretty sure someone told management because that suddenly stopped one day. Even though there were some crappy people in the first one, this one is just plain weird. At my new gym, this guy dragged a bench over to a rack. Pretty strange since it wasn't a Smith, but it gets worse. Turns out the guy was doing OHP, overhead press, and sitting on the bench for rests. Probably when I am using one of the machines, and pretty intensely at that, and elderly people come up and steal it when I stand up for a rest. Close second is those guys that come in groups of 3 or more and spend most of the time talking. But no, you can't use that equipment, we're using it. Something weird I just saw today was someone wearing a long wool overcoat and a winter beanie while lifting weights. I don't even know. Some people have this idea that sweating increases weight loss. Dropping weights from like 3-4 feet. This one guy would consistently do that when he does his CrossFit stuff. Ironically, he does it with his friend who would also drop it, but he would step on the bar so it doesn't continue to bounce wildly. So I'd give his friend props for being considerate. It's not especially good for the weights or floors either. I watched plenty of douches drop their 25 or 10 pound bumper plates from that high and they'd break or bounce wildly. But it's entertaining when it bounces back onto their feet. Most of the people have answered with not cleaning up, re-racking, and poor form. I absolutely abhor excessively loud grunts. Of course, those who lift extremely heavy weight may have to breath in and out very heavily, but to just scream out while lifting is pretentious. Similar to that, I hate people who just drop the weight. It's superfluously loud, and if you drop dumbbells a certain way, it can bounce off the ground and actually injure someone nearby. It reminds me of high school when the weirder kids would have 85 on the bar for squats and would just be screaming. Like I'd screw up my set laughing so hard half the time. Girls who wear makeup and complain that it's coming off when they begin to sweat. Saw a super strong guy bench pressing 185, throwing the bar in the air at the top of his lift, and then catching it on the way down doing reps. I was so scared he was gonna miss and drop the bar on his neck or something. Ridiculous. Girls and glute exercises. That's all they do. But stuff and ellipticals. And that's it. They then come up to me and ask how I got so this or how do I tone that. That's awesome. I'm willing to help, but then they get right back on the elliptical and later ask why nothing is changing. There is only one other woman that is also a powerlifter in that entire gym. She looks amazing. I'll see some new, made up exercise on social media and it spreads like wildfire. Then for a month you'll see a lot of people doing it. That's soon replaced with the newest weirdest thing. This could also be in the dangerous category. Rude. Not re-racking. Walking in between someone and the mirror in the middle of their set. No wiping down equipment after you use it. Spitting in the water fountains. Taking up multiple benches. Standing on benches. Respect the bench. Dangerous. Ego lifting. Trying to lift without proper instruction. Maxing without a spotter. Lifting way too much, too soon. Take your time. Patience and persistence is absolutely necessary. Don't try to correct other people during their workouts. Do not intrude. I had a skinny girl who was doing literally no work, pedaling slowly with resistance on 2 on the bike next to me, film me struggling doing 20 resist on the bike. It was really messed up. Not me, but my friend was at the gym yesterday. She'd laid out her mat and dumbbells out to use in a corner per gym etiquette. She turns around for a minute and this guy is using her mat and getting ready to start his workout. She had to tell him to move and he simply shrugs and slinks off, not even an apology. Sounds like she found a trash panda in a human body. Well done her for shooing it away and not getting rabies. I saw a guy recently who had taken his shoes off before going on the treadmill. You could see his socks were soaked with sweat, so it was getting all over the machine. It stank and he just left his shoes in the middle of the floor where anyone could trip over them. Men shaving in the sinks. Old men with their dongs out. Not wiping down sweat. Spending ages on a bench rack machine. Playing music through their phone. Not racking weights. Laughing at skinny, fat, old, or disabled people. Hitting on people. Trying to use 2 machines at the same time. Not waiting for you to finish a set before trying to move past, grab the weights or ask a question. Having smelly foods. Taking too many photos. Not admiring me enough. Not admiring me enough. I feel you. I see attractive women being followed around and asked for their numbers quite a bit. Like girl is straight up running and sweating on a machine and dude is standing in front of the machine talking to her asking for her number and just BSing for like 45 minutes straight. This is why women shouldn't always worry about being nice. Effing weird creepers. I'm here to run, not talk to you. Wear deodorant. I get sweat smells, and it's a gym. But no human should smell that bad unless you are diseased or refuse to shower daily. Also, old guys flirting with me at the gym. I'm a guy. I always thought I understood what women dealt with, until I was repeatedly harassed by an old naked man in the locker room. If there are several open treadmills available, why do you have to choose the one right next to mine? That's all folks. Thanks for watching. Have a nice evening. Kitos.